What's going on, guys? So fishing season, is around the corner, for catfishing and stuff like that, to really get into it a lot. So there's a lot of guys out there that's setting jugs, that's making some pretty cool ideas. You can make jugs just about anything. I mean, you can use laundry detergent bottles, you can use cat litter bottles, jugs, stuff like that. You can use all those. It's easy, it's simple. All you need is the container, string, hook, and a weight. That's all you need. It's simple, it's easy. Or if you want to make some, like I did, a little bit better on making them. So this is what I did right here. I bought 2 end caps and 1 here, and I'll get to all the details in just a minute. So I went to Lowe's and I bought a couple of 5-foot sections of the 3/8 PVC pipe. I bought the end caps for each of them, and I went to Walmart and bought the monster noodle, which is just the regular noodle, but it's the thick one. And I already had the string, and I got 2 eyelet hooks. A lot of guys that you'll see only does one on the top for easy. I'll show you why I do 2 of them. But what I did was I put 1 end cap on first, I glued it, set it, I let it dry, and then I didn't let them dry but 10 minutes after I got all of them done. I gave it 10 minutes, let them dry. And then I went to Walmart and I got a couple packages of weights. It's the 1 ounce egg weights. It comes in a pack of 4 for like 90 something cents. I bought a whole bunch of packs of them, and I stuck 1 pack in each of these. I cut the PVC pipe to 20 inches long, and then the noodle I did 12 to 13 inches. Just depends on which ones I always had. The reason, part of the making process, I did the bottom cap first. Once that was done, I put the noodle on, and then I put the weights in, and I did the top. So after the top was dry and everything, I let everything set. Once I got all of them done like that, let them set to the next day. The next day I went in and I drilled a hole on top and the side, and I did the hole just slightly smaller than my eyelet hooks here. And the reason being is I wanted a tight fit, but not only, I used super glue to super glue here and here. So I put super glue on them itself. When I got them halfway, I did super glue, top down the rest of the way, and then call it good. I tied my main line to the top, and then this one, depending on how deep say the channel is or whatever, if I have 50 foot of line on one jug and I set it out in 30 feet of water, all I can do is this right here. I can just take the string, curl it around, and when it goes to pull down, so you just kind of loop it around, and when it goes to pull down, that weight's going to keep it down, and you can have the excess line on your jug. So it makes it easy to where you don't have to let it bring it up so much, or you got to move it out to a deeper spot. Now if you want it in that area with a lot of line on it, it's a lot easier doing it like this, because we put ours, we set them in deep spots. If it's like a 30-foot hole, we'll set them there. If it's 25, somewhere in there, our jugs that we make, they all vary, and how much line has on from one to the next. It just depends on how much line we put on it at that time. And I made 6 of these total. And here's the next one. Same thing. These right here are reflectant. You can go to Walmart and pick up like little strips. And what I did was I just cut them in half. It comes in like a long strip, about 6 inches long. I just cut it in half right at 3 inches or so and wrap it on the top. It works good. So what it does is when you have the weights this side back here, let's get back. The fish, you know, the line's pulling down from up here and it's gonna sit level in the water. So if the fish starts to pull it, starts to take off with it, the weights are gonna slide and it's just gonna bob up. And of course, if it's big enough, it'll slide that jug up. A lot of people I've seen will, you know, super glue them or, you know, super glue the jugs where they're still. I don't think it's gonna matter, just because if a fish wants it, it'll take off with it. It'll move it around, it'll bring that thing up, so it really won't matter. And this is my knot I had for, so when it hangs down, the weight's pulling down, and my hook's gonna be here. So if I have live bait, it can swing it around and stuff. Or if I have, you know, whatever bait I have it on there, it'll stick out a little bit like that. But usually, just how we always done it. So it works out really good. So what all I bought is to make these. I bought one monster noodle. I bought 10 foot of 3/8 PVC, and I bought caps for each one. One PVC pipe will give you roughly 3. So if you want 6, you know, just half a dozen as you want to make it yourself, you just got to go out there and buy, you know, just buy one monster noodle for now, you know, one 5-foot section. And if you want 3 jugs, just you got to get 6 of the end caps. And then I've also seen people make it to where they have one big eyelet hook on the top, and they have a clip that clips, you know, their line on it, which is a lot simpler. I'm gonna do some of them and test them out for ponds and stuff, because it looks like they'd be great for live bait, because all they did is they built them the exact same way, but they used a smaller noodle. I used the big ones, it's easier, just my preference. But they used the big clips, and they just clipped it onto the eyelet hook, and they had, you know, 4 or 5 foot of line, you know, at egg weight, and the hook at the very bottom. So it makes it simpler, especially if you're gonna have live bait. I think that setup right there is gonna be a really good one to go, because they can move around, and it'd just be a little bit better versus having them on, you know, something like this. But just your preference on what you want to do. It's really simple. All you need is just the PVC pipe, the end caps, string, hooks, eyelet hooks, you know, and weights for the inside of the jug. So it's easy, something that you guys can make yourself. I mean, you can use it anywhere. You can go out using a lake, a river, creek, a pond. I mean, if you got a pond that's got catfish and it's really, you know, preferably kind of big, you can use them. Go out there and set them like, you know, a kayak. You can use them in a kayak, it's no problem. Go out there, just set them, throw them out, you know, then go back to the bank if you want to do some bank fishing, or go around, you know, fish while you're on the boat or whatever. And then you can set them out, you can leave them, come back. But depending on where you live will depend on your regulations, so check them. Oklahoma, we got to have our name and our mailing address on the jugs. So unfortunately, I still have to put that on there, but I'm gonna take mine to the jug itself. So y'all have a good day, and see you next time.